this forecast video, we're doing a quick but informative update on the severe weather expected today and then into tomorrow from Texas all the way to the Dixie Alley. All the information you need to know to stay safe is located in this video. Alrighty, welcome back into another more weather forecast video. Let's get right into the forecast, and as you can see, we're looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlook right now. So for today, we do have a slight risk for severe weather. This extends from the Arklatex region there in Texarkana all the way down to the middle to upper Texas coast. So this will be the DFW Metroplex as well as Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Waco. You guys are all included in this. Now, our biggest threats today will be that damaging wind risk. We do have that 5% chance of tornadoes, so that tornado threat is there, something we're going to have to watch here, but not super high. Still a component of this that we're going to have to watch. Again, that damaging wind threat is going to be the highest, and then right near the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, we do have a 15% chance of hail as those storms really start to fire off. That's when we'll see our biggest hail threat. So let's time out these storms for you. And so first thing we're going to do is time out the storms expected today, and then we'll go into the forecast for tomorrow with the severe weather in the Dixie Alley. So let's time out these storms. So right now, about the time I'm filming this video, we do have some convection in Texas, some rain in the Panhandle, but the severe side is over here just to the west of Dallas. As we go later tonight, so say into 6 into 7 p.m., we're going to see these storms start to strengthen and knock on the doorstep here of DFW Metroplex. So right as you're trying to, go to bed, you probably will start hearing those rumbles of thunder there in Dallas and Fort Worth and the surrounding metro area. Then in front of this little cluster right here going through Dallas, by the time we go into 8 p.m., we're going to see some individual cells or supercells develop here, and these do have some curvature on them, so that's why we do have that 5% chance of tornadoes, as some of these storms, especially right out in front of this little cluster, by the time we go into, say, 7, 8, 9 p.m., as these storms start to fire off before they really get congealed into a line, that's when we're going to see our biggest tornado threat. So Waco, south of Dallas, make sure you are on the radar, on alert for severe weather tonight. That tornado threat is there. I don't want you guys to freak out or anything, but again, make sure you are on alert. There is going to be severe weather tonight, and some of those storms could have rotation on them, so it's something we're definitely going to have to watch here. But by the time we go into around 10 to 11, so by the time most people are asleep, this kind of becomes into lines and is fast growing on the southern side of it. So as we keep going into early on Tuesday, actually, we're going to see this line start to really strengthen and go all the way into just north of Corpus Christi. So by the time we go into wee early hours of Tuesday, so tomorrow, we're going to see some storms going through Houston all the way down to Corpus Christi. So right as you're waking up, you're probably going to be experiencing some heavy rain all the way up into Shreveport as well down there, and all the way down to Houston, Galveston, and along the middle to upper coast of Texas there. The main threat with this line of storms as we go into later tonight and then into early Monday morning will be that damaging wind threat. So those gusty winds is definitely a threat here, but most of the tornado threat will go down at this point. Still need to be watching out for those damaging winds though, if you are along the Texas coast and in eastern Texas as we go into later tonight and into Sunday morning. So now we're going to switch on over to the forecast for tomorrow. So right now we are looking at what we're expecting for tomorrow, and let's look at that Storm Prediction Center outlook. You can see we do have that slight risk of severe weather in the Dixie Alley. What I mean by the Dixie Alley, that's Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. Usually as we go into the fall, we'll see more severe weather in this region as that cold air dominates the north. That severe weather usually gets pushed down into the south, so we may see even more severe weather after that, but again, we'll get into that in future updates. For tomorrow on Tuesday, we do have a slight risk of severe weather from Memphis all the way down into Jackson and into Birmingham. So this is a pretty good chunk of the Dixie Alley right there. We do have a 5% chance of tornadoes here, so that tornado chance is there as well. But the main risk here will be those damaging winds as this, again, line of storms comes through. So let's time out these storms here on the HRRR model. So as we go into early tomorrow morning, so by the time we go into probably 7 a.m., we'll see this weakened line going into Louisiana and Mississippi here. If you're in Louisiana, we're mostly going to see the weaker part of that line, and then it'll strengthen as it goes into Mississippi and Alabama. So if you're in Louisiana, watch out for those rains. Some of these storms along this line could have some gusty winds, but I'm not really worried about you guys there in Louisiana. But by the time we go into the early morning hours on Tuesday, so when everybody's waking up and going to school, we'll start to see this line really get a little bit more energetic. We'll see it get stronger as we go into probably 8, 9 a.m. into 10 a.m. So the mid-morning hours. Then as this line goes into Alabama, we could see again those embedded supercells in this, so some of these could have rotation on them. That's why we do have that 5% chance of tornadoes. So again, something we're going to have to watch tomorrow here in Mississippi and Alabama. But once this line of storms gets into eastern Mississippi and then into western Alabama, that's when we're really going to see it strengthen. We're probably going to see some storms as well going through Memphis as well as Jackson. The main threat there will be those damaging winds, and the main threat with tonight and into tomorrow will be damaging winds. So make sure you have that patio furniture, anything outside. Make sure you have that secured down if you're in that slight risk highlighted region for tonight or into tomorrow. And this line will become pretty strong by the time it gets into Alabama. So Birmingham, you'll be seeing storms by the time we go into the lunchtime into the afternoon. So some rumbles of thunder, some damaging winds. That's what we're expecting. All the way down to the Gulf Shores into Mobile, we're not really expecting very severe storms. The most severe storms will stay up towards Nashville into Birmingham. So that's what we'll be watching for that. And then as we go later into the night on Tuesday, that line will continue to weaken as it goes into Georgia and Alabama. We could still see a severe side for that though. So if you're in to eastern Alabama and into western Georgia, say Atlanta, still be ready for that rain and rumbles of thunder. But another aspect of this, as you can see, we're going to play the model out here, is we're expecting a lot of rain in this region besides the severe weather. I know our eyes are mainly focused on Texas into the Dixie Alley, but while we were looking at that, we're expecting a lot of rain to go up here in this region, and that's somewhere we're going to be watching for that flash flooding. But this rain will be welcomed with open arms here, as we've been seeing quite a dry environment. So the last thing we're going to look at is how much rain we're expecting. So anywhere from probably 2 to 3 inches from Oklahoma City all the way to St. Louis, Joplin, Springfield, and Fayetteville, Arkansas is including that. Now that does have a recipe for flash flooding. So if you're in those flood-prone areas in southwestern Missouri into northeastern Arkansas, as well as into northwestern Arkansas, northeastern Oklahoma here, make sure you are ready for that possible flash flooding. But this moisture and precipitation will be welcomed with open arms because we are in quite a drought in that region. All right, that about wraps up this more weather forecast video. Again, we forecast that severe weather expected tonight into Texas and then tomorrow into the Dixie Alley. Again, that main threat will be damaging winds. We do have that small tornado threat, still something we're going to have to watch, but not extremely worry about. Make sure you stay weather aware if you're in those slight risk highlight areas tonight or into tomorrow in the Dixie Alley. All right, as always, stay prepared out there, and I'll see you soon with more weather.